Hello, Randy Rain here, and I've got another cool TOMY game. This time it's Run Yourself Ragged from 1979. Or it's Snafu from later on sometime in the 90s. And then there's Screwball, Scramble, which I don't have an example of. And there's Tricky Ball and Tricky Bille, but the original was Run Yourself Ragged. Finally got the U.S. patent in 1980. A very cool game. This one is mine. It's almost all original, except I'm missing the hoop. This is a friend of mine's, the Snafu. It's also missing the hoop, but it's also missing the catapult. So I'm going to take the catapult from here and make one for here, and then I'm going to try to recreate the hoop. And let's see how well I do. So let's get inside. Let's see the differences, because there are some. Well, here they are side by side. So there are some differences. So I'm going to start at the start. First of all, you can see the sticker is different. The design is different. This sticker is actually a little bit longer, which means the little TOMY logos are a little bit different as well. The wacky bridge is the exact same. I don't see any difference between the bridges. But then you get up here to the crane. The crane is different. If you look at the crane on the original, it kind of goes up right here, and it goes flat across on the later edition. Magnet, I don't really see any difference. So as they spin around, we get to the parallel bars. There is some difference here. The original parallel bars are a little thinner. These are a little thicker. And also the bend here. This is a much sharper bend than it is on the later one. The piece that reminds me of the Flash Gordon movie, those seem to be fine. Except right here where the main body is. You can see it goes higher here than it does here, and there's even a piece here. It looks like part of the injection molding part, and this one isn't. So that's different. This piece is the same. This piece is the same, except for the parts that are hitting it. If you look closely on the parts here that push up, they're all the same, except for this last one's a little bit thicker. On this one's thin, it gets thicker, thin, and then it has this weird shape here. So that's different. This platform's the same, the maze is the same, and this little airplane looking thing is the same, except for where it's connected to. You can see that this is different, and the part where you screw in. You can see this Allen wrench barely fits in here. It's plenty loose in there, so that's different. And then of course I'm missing the catapult on this one. The rest all seems to be the same, except for the color, of course, and the stickers. So that's the differences between these two. My friend picked this up somewhere, a garage sale, who knows where it came from. But it came with these metal marbles here, but these are the wrong size. These are 1/2 inch, and that is not what you need. You need 14 millimeters. 14 millimeter steel balls. And by the way, the timers are the same. Well, there you go. There's what's inside a Run Yourself Ragged. So here's the gear system, just some angle gears. You see your typical gears on spring here. So if you force it past the point, it's just going to start slipping right here instead of grinding the gears. Okay, it seems like I need to get this piece right here down. And these are tabs, not allowing it to do that. And I can bend it back a little bit. Aha! Got it. It didn't get me much farther to getting that thing off before I could mold it. So, but does it allow me to separate it now? There we go. So next I should mold that. So first thing, I'm going to go ahead and fill all of this space up with clay. And I have a piece of wood here. And I'm going to take some clay and just start smearing it on here very forcefully. Then I'm going to work this down into it. A good smear of clay will help me stick my reservoir down to the piece of wood. Okay, so I'm using my go-to Mold Max 30. So I 3D modeled the hoop the best I could from looking at the picture on the box. What's interesting is if you look on the box, it's clearly some sort of clown face. There's 2 eyes, a nose, and some hair, and there's ears, and the hole is the mouth. But in the instructions, it's called the fiery hoop. But I modeled this in Blender, and then I cut it in half to do 2 different pieces. And then I brought them into my slicer, and so now I print. Okay, while that's printing out, I'll pour this. I'm using Smooth Cast 325 along with some blue powdered pigment because it needs to be blue. Next, I'm going to put these 2 pieces together. So now I'm going to make a mold, and it's going to start with clay. So I'm going to make some indentions for reference marks. So now I have a strip of foam board that I cut some slits through. Now I'll just hot glue it into place. Just enough for it to stay there. Alright, let's have a look. Not a perfect match, but it'll look okay. So while I'm in the shop, I'm going to work on this catapult and try to make it closer to the way it should be. With all this infill here, it's pretty heavy. to raise it up a hair. You can see my off-centering of my guide there, but I don't care that much about it. It's close. It's a little lighter. That works. That side's done. And I have some areas to clean up. And I'm just going to use petroleum jelly as a release agent. I put it on real thick to make sure I get everywhere, and then I come back and take the majority of it off. So we're inside the Snafu version, and it looks to be pretty much the same thing in here. I don't see a whole lot of differences, but this is where I need to go. I need this piece out right here. Well, that piece is glued in there. It's not coming out, so just gotta have to snap this in. There you go. Alright, time to have a look. Here's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to take some of this red pigment, put it into here. Go ahead and put the pigments in there. Cover this up. Sandwich it between these two pieces. So I'm going to use the Smooth Cast 325, which comes out clear. And I'm going to use some of this powdered pigment here. Looks good. Well, that was a fun little repair. The little catapult works great. I love the little hoops that it jumps through. I'm still going to look for an original one for my set here, but it was a nice little challenge to see if I could do that, and I think it looks pretty good. So, you ready to see me do this in action? Well, I warn you, between laying egg and Mr. Mouth and Digital Derby to power football, I rule at all TOMY games. Beat this. Another fun game from TOMY. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank these people right here. These are my Patreon supporters. Hey, I have a magic shop if you want to go check that out. And if you become a Patreon, you get free stuff from the magic shop. So check out the Patreon. Check out my magic shop. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, please, and subscribe for more. Thank you.